Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Here we are again in the Magic Town tournament, of course. And with this one, I am going to be showing you guys a 135 million damage plus strat. And I mean plus, like, I got about 135 million with this, but you could reasonably get probably almost to 140 million if you did everything perfectly. I know I just uploaded the 112 million damage run. It's actually good that there's so many variations of this, just because different people are not going to be able to do certain things and certain people don't care as much as other people. But the beginning of this is going to be very similar. It is a little different with the placements, but you're going to start off with your farms, of course. Just upgrade your farms, primarily Bulma, first 2 waves. And then you'll start putting down your Itachis in the second wave, or in the third wave, I guess. And you actually want to try to put them all the way over here towards the bottom right of that square, and just kind of line them up really close to each other right there. Because, like I said, if you watch the 112 million damage one, basically if you can do the 116 million damage video. If you can do that, you can probably do this. It took quite a few tries for me, and it was pretty rough, but I did manage to end up finally doing it, and I did it properly. There's a little more going on here. A little more things to pay attention to, but if you can do it right, you will be able to break 135 million. At the very lowest, it's probably like 130 million, so between that 130 140 million range, but that should still be enough to get you way up there. And like I said, it doesn't really matter to me because I already have a bunch of number 1s and I have a number 2, and even if I end up in number 2 or 3, as long as I get the unit, it's probably just going to be another Tatsumi anyways. But yeah, with this you should be able to get to the top of your bracket. But I say that now, and hey, look, now there's like 3 other videos about, hey, this is the best strategy, so I don't know. I'm gonna hold my tongue, I suppose. But yeah, you're just getting all your farms upgraded. You don't even really need to upgrade your Itachis yet. But once you have all your farms maxed, which should be about wave 7 here, so I think all my farms are maxed now, you can start upgrading. I upgrade this leftmost Itachi because you see the Steel Mage over there kind of slowly inching his way up, and that Itachi should be able to handle him. And I just go ahead and get them all to the Susanoo upgrade. I have a 4% Mangekyo Eye on him, which it goes up to 5%, and the lowest is 2, so 4 is not bad. And I have a very good curse on him. It's like 8 something, 8% something damage, 3% something decreased range. But I just want to go through this with you guys pretty slowly and in detail because there's a lot to remember and there's just a lot going on, and I don't think it's really going to get through if I speed it up. But yeah, if you can just upgrade your Itachis in the beginning here. He will handle everything just fine. And it's very similar to what we were doing before. You know, as you can see, the placement is a little different, because he's going to be able to hit the whole square, and he can hit further to the right and further back with that placement, so it's actually a lot more ideal. And yeah, then I just get them all up to like their Sealing Strike upgrade here. But again, wave 27 is where it's going to pick up. You're going to have to do a lot with wave skipping and unwave skipping and things like that, so just, you know, try to make sure you're paying attention when we get to that point. I'll let you know, because it's pretty tight, the difference between successfully doing this and not successfully doing this, and just basically having it be another 116 million damage run is like huge, or like it's really easy to mess up is what I'm saying. So, you know, I'll try to help you guys out with it the best I can. And it depends a lot on your own units. Well, once you get all these Itachis maxed, of course we're gonna do the whole one Poochie thing again and get into his time acceleration. I could probably run this again and get a higher score, but it's just, I've been running this so much, it's not that important to me. But hopefully for some of you this will be huge. I wish I could say this was some novel idea, you know, this is original and I came up with it, but I've already seen some other videos that were similar. I mean, I did see somebody doing this, but they did it with Boros. You can do it with Boros instead of Eisen, if you really need to, apparently. I did it with Eisen, it worked out, but I'm just saying if you don't have Eisen, or whatever, you can replace him. But other than that, I don't know. I really don't think that you can replace any of these units. Maybe Wendy, but like, I don't know who you'd be replacing her with that would be as effective. Itachi just shreds, man. And you'll see kind of where I place my Eisens. I had to toy around with the placements on things a little bit. It is still quite difficult to kill that fire mage on round 31, for sure. It still comes very close every time. And if you don't kill him, the run is a wipe. I think, is that all Itachi's maxed now? Once you have all your Itachi's maxed, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You just go ahead and you throw your Poochie down about right there. That's where I like to put him, because he helps break off the shields, like I said, and he can reach around the whole thing. His range is just fine. And then I just line my Wendies up right there, because all of our units are going to be within range. And then the next order of business is just getting Poochie to his time acceleration. Once again, don't max him out, just get him to that second to last upgrade, that time acceleration upgrade right there. Just making sure they're all maxed. Double checking that I was actually recording. That would have been a disaster. Like I said, I had to run it a few times, so don't give up hope, don't become too frustrated. Unless you just absolutely can't kill that fire mage on 31 or something, then you might just have to settle for one of the lower damage runs. I put my Eisens right about here. They can all get Windy buffed, and it feels like it's better to put them there, because at least with the range that mine have on them, this is pretty ideal for as far as hitting the whole square and everything goes. And I would say prioritize that back Eisen a little bit more. Like, make sure that when you get your extra money, you're upgrading him more than the others. But I just get them all to Ultra Fragor for now. Because yeah, if you upgrade that back one more, then he will be able to hit the whole square. But like I said, depends on your curse, depends on your base stats. He does have Miracle Timepiece, and of course Itachi has the Mangekyo Eye, like I mentioned. So I accidentally upgraded Wendy a couple times there. No big deal, but just make sure you don't do that. Like I said, there's plenty of ways you could try to optimize this to squeeze out a couple extra million damage. This is still the best method I've seen so far by far. So just getting all those Eisens to Ultra Fragor. So this is the setup right here. You're looking at the placements of all the units and everything right now. Itachi lined up along that back wall, maxed out. Your Wendy's kind of in front of them next to that tree. Poochie on the other side of that tree, and then your three Eisens grouped up right there in the middle. Not sure how Boros works, being that I still haven't gotten him somehow, but I believe that this would also work just as well with him with the same placements. But you know, you can experiment with that. So wave 27, make sure you turn that auto skip off, just like usual. If you keep auto skip on and it hits wave 28, it's probably going to be a wipe. So make sure you absolutely hit no. You don't actually have to hit no, but just don't skip that wave. Keep that windy buff going. Keep upgrading your Eisens as you get more money. And that is essentially going to be the crux of it, of what you're going to be doing the rest of this time. With the exception of messing with the auto skip stuff a little bit. And hitting Poochie's time acceleration. And this is going to be just kill these bosses on wave 27. Once they're dead, wave 28 will come around and we'll have another boss. And then we have to make sure we get, I think it's the Steel Mage dead. And then that Rainbow Fire Mage on 29 will come around, and we want to make sure that he's just isolated. Just him taking all the damage. If you can't kill that Rainbow Fire Mage on 29, then this is not the run for you. Sorry to say. And so I have 2 other videos right now with lower damages. Or you can just try to grind out and get, you know, all these units and have them upgraded if you don't have them, as much as possible. And still just getting all those Eisens upgraded. Are all Ultra Fragor. And we take out the Water Mage. Again, make sure you do not skip wave 28. You're not skipping wave 27 or 28. And we'll just shred this Steel Mage and hopefully have him dead, or most of the way dead by the time that Rainbow Fire Mage comes around. So just goes without saying, honestly, but just try not to mess up your windy buffing. Err on the side of caution. Don't just hit it sporadically. Make sure that like 30% is above the next one that you're about to buff with and stuff like that. And as soon as it goes away, go ahead and hit the thing again. Boop. And you should be able to take him out. On wave 29 it will get a little bit more complicated. All pretty standard stuff up until this point. This is almost the same thing we've done with the last few runs, but so here, obviously, use your money, upgrade your Eisens again. You have your Rainbow Fire Mage. You're just windy buffing, you're not hitting time acceleration, you're not doing anything crazy, you're just taking him out. But once you get him to about like a third health, you'll see, I actually skipped the wave. So as he's on his way to being almost dead, bang, hit that wave skip. Make sure you're still windy buffing. You actually need to have enough time in this one, because you will actually run out of time with this strategy. Make sure you're upgrading your Eisens. So with this one, the Water Mage, you want to make sure that as soon as it says auto skip, you auto skip. Bang. Or not auto skip, but you skip manually. then that Rainbow Fire Mage will spawn. Because the Water Mage is super slow. But as soon as they all start hitting that Rainbow Fire Mage, use Time Acceleration. This is wave 31. You have the Rainbow Fire Mage and Water Mage out there at the same time. Make sure you're still wind debuffing. And this is the make or break right here. If you kill that Fire Mage, you're good. You can get a good run out of this. If you can't kill that Fire Mage, it's a wipe. Make sure you didn't turn auto wave skip on here. You have to manually do that because you do not want to skip the rest of the waves after this or the next wave after this. And as you can see, we just barely managed to kill him, and he gets taken out by Itachi's fire. And it's so close. And it's like almost always that close. But yeah, don't skip this wave. So we haven't turned auto skip back on at all since 27. We just have manually skipped. I have to make that super clear. 32, when this wave comes around, that's when you're going to kind of see that in action again. Just make sure we take this girl out. Alright, and we'll get another Water Mage here on 32, and she is very beefy. Make sure you're upgrading your Eisens. Make sure you're windy buffing. Yeah. But what you're going to be wanting to do here on wave 32 with this Water Mage is right before this wave ends, you'll literally see me do it with like 5 seconds left. You're going to want to turn auto skip back on right before this wave ends. Might seem kind of strange, but you want to do a bunch of damage to her. And the reason we're getting all this extra time, and it might seem like, oh, we're just burning extra time right now, is because Poochie will actually get his time acceleration back before the game ends. And you'll have a bunch of bosses on the map, and that's where you're going to be getting so much more damage. So we need all this extra time so that he can get that back. Because you're not killing the next Rainbow Fire Mage. The next Rainbow Fire Mage is killing you. So all we can do is slow him down enough to get a lot of extra damage in. And that's what this is doing. And you'll start seeing that 30-second timer pop up and count down. Better to do it a little too early than a little too late, like I always say, but just as that starts getting lower and lower, pop another windy buff if you're able to, but make sure you turn that auto skip back on before the wave ends, preferably, because sometimes it's kind of janky if you don't do it, like if you turn auto skip back on the actual wave that you're on. It's weird, I don't know. But yeah, go ahead and turn it back on. Bam, turned it on. And now this Rainbow Fire Mage that's going to take us out will spawn. Make sure you're upgrading your Eisens. You're going to be getting a lot more money because you have auto skip back on now. So you're going to really want to make sure you're paying attention, upgrading your Eisens whenever you can. And at some point I'll actually just place a whole nother Poochie. Make sure you're still windy buffing. Remember, the idea here isn't to kill them. Just getting this extra damage and letting the bosses spawn. And as you can see, we literally only have a minute left. Upgrade Eisen. Windy buff. Poochie almost has his time acceleration back. Now I may have popped it a little too early. I may not have windy buffed perfectly. Like I said, you could end up with a better score than this. It's just, this is as good as I could do. I place another Poochie just for more damage. Upgrade him. Windy buff. And then you see that I'll go ahead and pop that time acceleration as soon as I'm able to. Probably could have delayed it a little bit, but... And the only reason I say delayed it a little bit is just maybe to get another boss a little bit more in range, but it's not going to make a huge difference. And I go to bounce this guy, but we will literally run out of time before he even hits the end, so it doesn't matter. So yep. That's the 135 million damage run. I really hope it helps you guys out and you can get high on the tournament leaderboard. Thanks for watching once again. Take care of yourselves, guys, and peace.